Hi Gemini, this is Amanda Nardozzi. This reading is going to be for April 29th to May 5th. So tune into your intuition, check in with your guides, angel, spirit team, so that way you can figure out which messages are for you, which messages are for others. I am going to let the dust spiritually, physically, and emotionally settle around within me so I can connect with your energy and we can figure out what's going on for this week. So, what's for our Gemini collective? Thank you, angels. Thank you, spirit team. Thank you, guides. Main focal point of your reading is the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is about learning to be your badass bitch self. Regardless of what you identify, I'm not trying to gender you, but, badass bitch, man, woman, non-binary, pal, like whatever you step into, it's your strong, confident era. The queens typically do come with a more feminine energy. Anyone can have masculine or feminine energy, but there's something here about harnessing the creative force, the creative potential. There's also something about like receiving information or something about like the yin or the feminine side of the receiving, that intuitive receiving. So some of you could actually be channelers, or some of you could be getting guidance from your spirit team in some form or fashion, either through your dreams, either from some type of spiritual gifts that you have, or like maybe signs from the universe. But there's some type of information being given to you that's like, oh, like, this is the era that I'm stepping into. And it's also kind of like guiding the way for what to do next. I'm seeing that it's guiding you through different situations in your present moment, but it feels more subtle. It feels more under the surface. So it might not be something that's as apparent to you. This could be through the very simple act of processing emotions. And then just having like those downloads happening at that time. Anybody, you don't have to be like a psychic to get spiritual downloads. I think we are all being guided in life, whether you're spiritual or not. Some of us are just more in touch and have more of an awareness of our guides than other people. And I feel like you are somebody with a passion for understanding, like I'm hearing like secrecy. There's something here about secrecy. It's like understanding it's almost like trying to sharpen your inner knowing. You could also be surrounded by, what is this secrecy that's coming through? Hang on, I'm trying to figure out what this secrecy is. It's almost like some of you are either secret about this or there's some type of element of secrecy in your life. So it's almost like, oh, it's the universe secrets, it's universal secrets, and I really like that. Some of you have a passion for, becoming friends with those secrets, or like becoming partners with the universe so that you can have a deeper knowing or a deeper understanding of those secrets. I also so you have another queen here, the Queen of Swords. It's paralleled with the Three of Wands. So the situation here is talking about, stepping into your power, being more confident with the Queen of Wands. And it's almost like whatever direction you're taking, whatever your vision is, you are taking physical steps to it. So even if you have a down spell, or even if you're encountering some form of resistance, just have the confidence and understand that you're making the choices, you're actively moving towards your goal. The Three of Wands is about laying the foundation for something greater. So it's almost like the Three of Wands, when I talk about what the Three of Wands is on someone's journey, it's literally having all of your bags packed already and being ready to set out over the Sahara Desert. So even though it's challenging, even though it's difficult, in some of you it might not even be that challenging at all. You're just exciting. I'm hearing like, I'm ready to see what's laying ahead. I'm ready to see what's lying in wait for me. And it's almost like there is an excitement towards that. There is a passion. This is moving towards a passion thing. This isn't something you're begrudgingly doing. This is something that you are actively working for, that you get very excited about. Considering the fact that you do have the Queen of Wands, again, the wand suits, whenever they're brought up, do indicate forms of creativity, will, direction, passion, and passion keeps coming through. So whatever it is that you're working towards in regards to your passion, this is something that you are prepared for. You're ready to see what's ahead, and partnered with it is the Queen of Swords. Now, you have queens in your reading. This is, again, you don't have to identify as female. Everybody has masculine, feminine traits, or rather masculine, feminine energies, I should say. But it's almost like the queens are a little bit more intuitive, but you also have to be kind of cutting edge. The Queen of Swords, like I find queens to be, kings are more no nonsense, but queens almost have this intuitive side where it's not like they're more flexible. It's more of like, they do have more of like a nurturing compassion to them, but it's almost like the Queen of Swords needing to make very quick slice through action. But it's almost like using your intuition to take that action, if that makes sense. So before you make these decisions, it's almost like you are tuning into your intuition first and being like, okay, and then you are kind of paralleling it with reality. And you're like, okay, well, does this align with the reality that I wish to create for myself? Yes, okay, then we're doing it. No, all right, then we're tossing it. And that is like the very clear image that I'm getting of somebody who is like doing very quick, careful, assessive work, and then like casting away the things that are not going to serve them, and then just not thinking about them. That's the thing. So the Queen of Swords never ruminates because she is absolutely certain of her decision. The Queen of Wands being present offers a sense of confidence, whereas the Queen of Swords offers quick decision making. So it's almost like having confidence in the decisions that you like. When you arrive at this conclusion, having confidence in those decisions are something that something that you're learning to do. We just talked about decisions and being decisive, right? Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is all about decision making. So this could be indicating that you are at a crossroads or that you need to make a choice on how to proceed, how to move forward. I'm hearing like, how do you want to convey yourself, or how do you want yourself to show up in this next phase or this next cycle? Now, when the Two of Swords does come up, not only is it needing to make a decision, but you see how she's blindfolded. So she needs to rely on her intuition in order to make the next move. She's feeling the weight of the sword, so she knows what they feel like, but she's trying to figure out which sword to cast down that would be best for her. So what is she going to throw away? What is she going to keep? And it's almost like, which sword do I want to wield moving forward? And it's almost like whatever you're choosing, it's almost like, which energy do I want to take on, or what type of effort do I want to put out to the world? So I don't know why I'm getting somebody actively working with the energies of the sword. I don't think I ever channeled it like that before, but like I said, she's holding two swords and she's like, which one do I want to wield? Which one do I want to exercise power? Which one do I want to get into its energy, embrace it, to use? It's almost like you're like trying to figure out the crossroads between like a project or a job or something. It's almost like this choice is like a big choice that is basically going to dictate how the rest of this phase looks for you. When it's paired with the Four of Swords, it's almost like you're needing to meditate on this decision, or like you need to come back to yourself and needing to take care of yourself so that you can connect more deeply to your intuition, so you can make the choice that's right for you. It's almost like the Four of Swords is like a meditative card. It is also just a get more sleep card. So taking care of your physical body and then also meditating, whichever applies to you or whatever you feel applies to you most. It's almost like if you are taking care of your physical body and you feel of sound mind, sound body, and you're feeling like pretty grounded, this is like a meditation card, because if not needing more sleep, then grounding for the Four of Swords. And this will help you, like it's you can't really make a decision at this crossroads based on your circumstances. You can't, like, circumstances is a part of it with the Queen of Swords, but it's almost like because you have a way to go, you have somewhere where you want to be, and it might not like look, these next steps might not look exactly how you expected them to look, which is why your feet are kind of feeling like lead approaching this decision, because you're like, this is not, it's almost like it's not ideal, or it's almost like for some of you, I see like a big shining, like two huge opportunities. It's either two opportunities that you're like, but you have to pick due to like some other reasons or some other circumstances, or it's almost like the sun is shining on two amazing opportunities that you're like, oh my gosh, like, I want to make sure I pick the right one. I want to make sure I pick the one for me. So regardless of how it sits, regardless of how it sits for you, coming back to yourself, making sure that, it's like you want to make the decision for yourself, not based on your circumstances, not based on what everybody else is telling you to do. The Queen of Swords is making the decision that's what's best for her path, but it's almost like you're acting with this decision. It's almost like there is some information that needs to be brought to your awareness. It might not be brought to your awareness before you make the choice, but it's almost like this is why we have our intuition, and this is why you need your intuition, because it's almost like your intuition can sense the opportunities in the paths that are presented to you. So even if it's not brought up to your awareness, it's almost like your intuition can sense the energy of both and figure out, okay, is this what's best for where I want to go? And then if you're not really getting a good feeling about that, the other one might be like, okay, like I see opportunity for this, or like it feels almost like I have options when I go into this. I don't know why like getting options is like an important thing here. So take it how it resonates. We'll get into your oracle cards and see what else we need to keep in mind for this energy. We are at a crossroads, needing to make confident, quick choices. We have lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. This could be energy that you've encountered before. This could be a cycle that you're currently undergoing. So it's almost like when ancestral wisdom comes up, this card typically comes up when it's like when this same, I want to say when this same situation or issue is presented time and time again. I feel like it's a cycle in your life, and not only is it like a cycle that you're finding yourself in again and again, but it is something that maybe your family has undergone or some like in your lineage somewhere. Because this is where, like, you know, even if your ancestors have kind of broke the cycle or whatever, I feel like breaking the cycle is not just a single moment of realization and all of a sudden we're done. Like healing is a lifelong journey, and the universe does present us with the same cycle or the same situation, people, again and again, until we can get used to saying no to those things, or until our mindset shifts and we are no longer in those cycles. So even though some situations might appear again and again, that does not mean we struggle with it the same throughout our lives. That being said, it's almost like your ancestors on the other side are like lending, I'm hearing like they're lending an ear. So it's almost like they want to hear your prayers as to like what exactly you're wanting from your life. Like they want you to get more clear. Some of you need to get more clear. For others of you, it's almost like, what steps are you willing to take to get to your goal so that we can start sending you opportunities? Because it's almost like they want you to break the cycle as much as you do, right? So you don't want to find yourself in these situations again and again. It's not like the situation is bad. It's almost like, you know, if these are amazing opportunities and they're shining through, it's almost like, you know, I want to be at my goal already. That's the thing. It's almost like I want to be at my goal, or some of you might have been struggling to get to your goal and to fulfill this dream. And it's almost like maybe in your ancestor line, maybe your parents or grandparents or somebody, whatever, you've noticed that they've been trying to do the same thing, or they've been struggling with a particular thing that might be maybe something that held them back, like if like you're going for a dream or something, and maybe finance, like that feeling of like financial lack is holding you back, just as an example. That might be something that has shown through your family line, and something that you were meant to heal in this lifetime, or something that you were meant to work on healing in this lifetime. And you know, that's just like, again, substitute it for whatever you will, but it almost feels like that's the energy that we're working with. Is, you know, there's something in the ancestral line that has like kind of like being brought up at this time and lending its part in some type of cycle when it comes to the confidence and moving forward on your path on toward your dreams. And it's almost like something that you are fighting to work through. Some of you are like warriors on a battlefield. Some of it's just straight up war of the mind. For others of you, it is making dreams, like bringing your dreams from heaven down to earth. I'm getting like different flashes, so apply it to how you see fit. We also have winter, take care of your needs. So this actually falls in line with the Four of Swords that we got earlier. This is coming back to yourself. Some of you might feel a case of burnout. I'm getting a big dip in energy right now. It might be winter or like really snowy or tundra, like wherever you're at in the world. For me, it's about to be spring. I'm in the I'm on like the east coast of the US, so it's looking mighty warm out, and I'm very excited about it. But we all have those winter periods, those gestation periods where we have to come back to ourselves. And this is almost like, again, coming back to yourself to, you know, I guess I say it all the time, but fill up your cup. I know it's cliche, but, you know, make sure that you're tending to yourself. Sometimes you need to step away from your dreams. Like, I think, I was just having a conversation with my friend the other day, and it's very poignant, and it's coming up like intuitively, it's coming up to share. She had said that, you know what, I need to take a break from my dreams for a while, and I need to just live. Like, I want to remember what it's like to live again. And it's almost like, because like she is a very go, go, go type of person. I am a very go, 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 achieve, achieve, achieve like type of person. It does build up stress over time. So if you're somebody that has been persistently pursuing your dreams, or if you're somebody just at a crossroads and you're like, okay, well, I just need to figure out my next moves, figure out my next steps. It's almost like Spirit is saying, like, you need to come back to yourself so that you can just live. And sometimes our very needs, this isn't just core needs like sleeping, eating, taking care of our body and exercising. This is more than just that. I feel like this is expanding to more of like, I want to just live life. I want to experience like the amazing things that the world has to offer within the means that I can live it by. And I just want to indulge just for a little while. That is filling up your soul. That is coming back to yourself. And sometimes we need that. Okay. You also have forgiveness and understanding. So just divine timing is a thing, and that's what's coming up. Divine timing, man. I want to I don't know why I want to cry with your reading, Gemini. I can't help but feel like, dang, I don't even have major Gemini placements in my chart, I don't believe. And this is something that is touching me on a personal level. But forgiveness and understanding, when this card comes up, it's almost like maybe you had expectations of the universe. Maybe you had expectations of yourself. And what Spirit wants you to do is try to exhibit some level of understanding and forgiveness, even if you're like, I'm hearing like you're making do with what you have, and that's okay. And it's almost like they want you to forgive yourself because it's not your fault. Like, it's almost like, I don't know, maybe some of you took a leap of faith and it fell through, or maybe you're caught in this cycle and you're not really like, you're recognizing that it's a thing when you thought it healed or something. It's almost like it wasn't a thing for a while, and then all of a sudden the cycle got brought up again. And whatever the case may be, whatever this energy is, whatever you're feeling down about or need to come back to yourself about, like whatever you need to take a break from, Spirit's just asking for you to extend forgiveness to those areas of your life. And again, I'm hearing like, take a break for a while, step back for a while, come back to yourself. So that way, I don't know. I'm hearing something again about harnessing intuition. So I feel like you are intuitive individuals, and it's almost like you followed your intuition. So don't be discouraged if that intuition led to something that kind of left you feeling downtrodden. And again, some of you are like, you have amazing opportunities, but there's something feeling stuck about it. It's almost like, oh, I have these great opportunities and I feel the sun shining and I feel very excited about it. But there's some type of cycle that's still being brought up that's kind of making your feet feel like lead, and wanting to move forward. I'm not sure exactly what that is for those of you in that branch of energy, but apply it how you see fit. But it's almost like it's a struggle to move forward. So you also have the Wheel of Life. I am guided by the cycles of life and live in complete harmony with them. And that's actually interesting because we were just talking about winter and the cycles, and wherever you're at, wherever it be. This is making me think of the flow of life. Some of you are going with the seasons. So at least for me, like, there are days where it rains heavily. I do not feel down when it rains, but you might be one of them where like, okay, springtime's coming, spring has sprung, maybe the sun is coming out and it's something that makes you feel alive, but rainy days make you feel kind of like a drag, or it's like, it could be like that season in your life where you are affected by like the changes in the weather. I'm getting people who are affected by the changes in weather. So just honor those days. You can even plot ahead, look at your forecast and be like, okay, well, what's going on? Just so you could be prepared if you're somebody who doesn't really want to I'm hearing like the sun is shining, that I am shining. A lot of signs have been getting that. But I feel like there are natural ups and downs, even if it's not something with the weather. It's almost like there are ups and downs, there are cycles to life, and this might be a cycle where you just don't do anything for a while, or at least you don't, if you are continuously doing something and working towards your goals, it's almost like you're not really breeding any new ideas at the time. It's almost like, you were stressing, you were dreaming, you were, doing spell work, or you were doing some manifestation, or you were like, it's almost like you were putting out a lot of energy to go towards something, or you were just coming up with something new. And like, for some of you, it almost feels like you were scrambling. And then now that it's the quiet, or now like either in the quiet of burnout or in the quiet of, in the aftermath of all of that work, you're getting situated and you're like, okay, what's going to sustain me long term? Or you're like, okay, well, what choices can I make to help move me forward on this path, but also as a way to come back to myself, if that makes sense. I don't see you like putting out all this crazy energy the way that you were. all this crazy manifestation energy. It's more of like you're still manifesting, but it's almost like now is like either the consistent work or the coming back to yourself and, you know, resting and just being for a while, and even just taking a step away and taking a break. For a lot of you, it quite literally is just taking a week off or something, or like taking a break. Some of you might need a vacation. You also have humility. Allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help in every way and delight in receiving it. I'm hearing that you're human. So, and it's almost like the way that you want to work your body or the way that you want to move about in your life, it's almost like Spirit's like, your human body cannot sustain that. And it's almost like, or at least like the challenges that you're facing, it's almost like you've reached your limit. So just forgiving yourself for that limit and understanding that you are human and that it's okay, right? So just don't be afraid to step back. I'm hearing like some of you might need to process a little bit more. You might need to let out a few cries. You might like a lot of cries. I don't know. I've had times where like I've just, from dawn until dusk, it was just tears. And that was just a decision for that day. I was like, I am just going to spend this day being upset. I had one of those recently, and it was just the healing and the processing that I need. You just have to, people ask me all the time, how do I process my emotions? I used to get this thing from my spirits all the time, and they would always say, you need to process. You need to process your grief to your friend's passing. You need to process this change, and it's almost like you need to grieve what was lost. When you're going on to this next chapter, you need to process. And I never understood how to process, and it's more of like, you know, I need to sit and actually feel it. I need to give time and space to that to wallow. Okay, I wouldn't call it wallowing, but just let me sit in my feels for a decent amount of time. And it's almost like feeling through your emotions over time helps you make peace with them and come to certain realizations that help kind of make it become a memory and meld it into your character. So, you know, inner strength and like soul growth and lessons and all of that. But it also helps the memory not be as fresh, or it helps this energy not be as fresh. You don't even have to know exactly what you're being upset about or crying about. Again, just sitting in it is enough to just trust the process and feel into it with your processing, okay? Trust me, you'll come to your own awareness and realizations after feeling over it for some time. Okay, so that being said, we're gonna roll the dice for you. You have 219. I'm pulling from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray, and I'm gonna try not to poke myself on my little dragon fruit cactus on the floor because it's in, I don't know why I put it there, it's in a really bad place. 219. Thank you, Milo. I love you. Know that your relationships with others require your peaceful and loving leadership. Take time to share your intentions for growth. One more time. Know that your relationships with others require your peaceful and loving leadership. Take time to share your intentions for growth. So again, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, both of them coming up, especially with the Queen of Wands being present. This is your presence as a leader. This is you stepping up in leadership. Okay? So take that how it resonates. That being said, Gemini, I hope you heal through this energy. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. Thank you for giving me the space to do so. If this has resonated with you in any way, please like and subscribe and all the things. I post weeklies, I post collectives in between. I love doing angel readings too. So if that's your vibe, definitely, drop in, see what I'm doing there. If you want to learn tarot, I'm teaching it for free over on my Instagram. I also have a Facebook that I'm going to link below. But if you want to follow me on one of those, I do posts talking about each card, the different things that I usually channel with that card, and if it relates to the traditional meaning of the card, then that is what I will also mention too. But that being said, I'm also offering personal readings, so definitely the link to my website is down below if you wanted to get a personal from me. They tend to be a little bit more specific and definitely a lot longer than this. So, but that being said, I love you, Gemini, and I'll see you next time. Bye.